So that's the couch where me and Danny would watch TV pretty much every night. It's pretty dark. I like it dark in my house. He would always sit on this side over by the lamp, and I would always sit on this side, and we would watch TV, which isn't on right now because it's kind of sad to watch TV alone. I have this picture of Danny right here by my lamp, which is right next to where he used to sit on the couch. I don't know how he'd feel about having the rosary on him, but I suspect he wouldn't mind now. Everything in here reminds me of him. All the Christmas presents are still over in the corner from Christmas, from where we had our tree. That was a really happy time. And even this painting here, Danny painted in high school. I always really liked it. And this is a painting that my horrible ex-husband did of our mother. Danny and I always used to make fun of it mercilessly. He was really a bad artist. This is Danny's high school graduation picture I have right by my front door. And this up here is a cross with the Sacred Heart that he got me for Christmas at World Market one year. And this is the kitchen. Table's a big mess. Apologize. This is the chair that Danny was sitting in on that day. That terrible day. That's our kitchen table. And he was sitting down at this end. He came in here from the couch, walked down the hall here, past the refrigerator, into the kitchen. He was gonna go down to the basement, which is down that hall a little bit, but he couldn't make it, so he sat down in this chair and he put his head in his hands. And at that point I had already called an ambulance. He was very concerned with wanting to get dressed before going to the hospital. He was trying to put pants on, and he kept standing up and falling down because he was really weak. And he wanted to put his shoes on, but he couldn't get them on. And there they are. If I can get out of the light. There they are on the floor in the corner. He was sitting at this chair. Paramedics came in. He had his head on the table here, kind of slumped down. They were talking to him, and he was groggy and sick, but he answered their question about what his name was, And then he just stopped answering, and the paramedics grabbed his arm. He had his arm on the table here. They grabbed his arm and they shook him. And I could tell they were feeling for a pulse. They lifted him up, sat him back in the chair. They held his head up like this so they could try to feel a carotid pulse on his neck. There was not one. And at that point, he looked green, and I knew that he was gone. However, I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, "We're all right here with you, Danny." At that point, the paramedics kicked this chair out of the way and put Danny here on the ground by the stove and the refrigerator. One of them knelt down beside him and blew air into Danny's lungs. I was standing over here on the other side of the table. As soon as they kicked this chair out of the way, the paramedic pretty much threw him on the ground and blew into his lungs, and that's when I ran in here into the living room with my daughters because we were home alone. We got down on our knees in front of our coffee table and we prayed. I can just remember praying over and over again. Please don't take my brother. Please, God, don't take my brother. There was a policeman over there by the front door, making sure that none of us went back into the kitchen. I don't know what they were doing to him, but I didn't have any desire to see. When they finally took him out on a stretcher, I huddled my daughters together and I put our faces down on the coffee table so we wouldn't see. I guess they took him out the front door. At that point, they loaded him into the ambulance. We got up. We went to the door. Probably won't be able to see very well out here. We stood on our porch. I know you can't see anything over there, but we stood right here on our porch. That's the front door, the porch swing, porch light. We all stood here, right here, looking off into, well, it's dark now, but it's where the ambulances were. And when they took off, we got into the van and we went with them. And then later, we came home. Without Danny. He had spent the past 3 days right here on this couch, recuperating. I thought getting better. And when he came home from the hospital, his blankets and pillows were still on the couch. The emergency EMT detritus was still on the floor. I cleaned it up. He died in this chair. Because no matter all the work they did on him, they never got even one spark back of life. Not one heartbeat. Not one register of blood pressure. Nothing. Nothing at all. They said they had everything in the ambulance, that it was like a mobile emergency room, and they could get nothing. So that's where Danny died. Right here at this table. This chair. And that's why there's nothing on the TV right now, because that was me and Danny's thing to do together. Maybe not many people knew, but Danny really liked watching TV. He became kind of a couch potato. I think that was my influence. Our favorite shows were Grey's Anatomy and Private Practice and Law and Order. We really liked Law and Order. And a show called Lie to Me, and a show called Southland, and a show called The Good Guys. Sometimes I take this picture and put it next to me on the couch so we can watch TV together, but mostly because I just can't look at it for very long. Thank you for watching. Danny, I love you. I know God's going to take care of you. He's not going to give up on you. I know we're going to see each other again someday. I love you so very much. Goodbye, dear brother.